Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for coming today. As you know, my name is Jimenez-Hopper. I'm the mother of an 18-month-old daughter, Elena, and she's not here with us right now. She's napping. And my 2-month-old son, Logan, he's in the back. And I am a proud wife of a veteran, my husband, Ryan. My husband served our great country in the Marine Corps and was deployed twice, the first time to Afghanistan and the second time to various countries in Asia. I grew up in Apple Valley, and when Ryan completed his service, we couldn't think of a better community to raise our family. A strong economy with a thriving business community is critical to the future of every person in Minnesota. Good jobs provided by all of you are what allows us to have a great quality of life here. Good jobs offer Minnesotans rewarding careers and the means to provide for all of our families. I know that as our business leaders, you're incredible boosters and supporters of communities such as Apple Valley, and I pledge to partner with you to enact business-friendly policies to aggressively reduce regulations. If honored to be your state rep, I pledge to always remember that healthy, growing businesses are important to our state and Apple Valley.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Allie. Please welcome Erin Mayquay. Tell us about yourself, Erin.
Thank you all so much for having me this afternoon, and I'm really excited to be home in our community of Apple Valley. My name is Erin Mayquay, and I'm running for State House in 57A. I'm locally rooted. My family moved here in 1982, and my brother and I have lived here our entire lives. We're very proud to be born and bred of this community. And it's the community values I was raised with that I want to bring to the legislature. Safe and healthy communities, cradle to college education, protecting women's health and choice, economic opportunity and prosperity, and equal access to the Minnesota dreams. The things that we sit around this table or our dinner tables and talk about a lot, and we want to make sure that those are centered conversations in our legislature. But I also want to take a step back and talk about the framework in which I would evaluate legislation. I frequent our local businesses, whether it's grabbing a bite to eat or it's going out to grab something that we need. And I want to make sure that every decision we make is good for this community, it's good for businesses, which are the engines in our community, and it's good for our families here. So thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to representing all of you.
Thank you. We're going to begin with Allie. Allie Jimenez-Hopper. About 70% of the individuals have health insurance that's provided by their employers. MNsure has given a lot of individuals an opportunity to apply for insurance. What is right with the program, and what, if anything, needs to be fixed with the program?
All Minnesotans should have access to quality, affordable health care. But the MNsure exchange has cost taxpayers over $400 million. This health exchange is currently hurting families and small businesses. In my opinion, we did not need our own exchange. A federal exchange was available and provided, and many states opted in for that federal exchange. So I would push to get off of the state exchange and move Minnesota to the federal exchange. And I would also fight to reduce healthcare costs by eliminating fraud and abuse in the system. I will work to help families and small business owners by pushing reforms that will lower their healthcare costs and give them more healthcare options.
The state of Minnesota, this is Allie again. The state of Minnesota has books full of legislation, regulations, and rules. You're hoping to be elected a lawmaker. Name one law that you feel needs to be enacted and why.
That is a great question. Law that needs to be enacted. Well, I'm looking at the laws and regulations that we have right now, and one of my concerns is more streamlining regulations. So I'm looking more at what we currently have and not necessarily at what needs to be done. So I would like to streamline the regulations for business owners. I think that they're over-regulated. They don't know who to go to for regulations. And so that's one of the focuses that I would like to pay attention to.
The safety and security of all Minnesotans, this is Allie still. The safety and security of all Minnesotans has recently hit close to home with the stabbing incident in the shopping mall in St. Cloud, the shooting of Philandro Castile during a traffic stop in Bevins Heights, and gang shootings in downtown Minneapolis. What is your solution to make Minnesota a safer place to live, work, and play?
Well, I would like to state that I support the Second Amendment, and I will do everything that I can to keep guns out of the hands of criminals and terrorists while not infringing upon the rights of law-abiding citizens. But safety is a big concern, and a lot of that, as stated earlier, is mental health issues. We need to make sure that individuals with mental health issues have places to go that aren't going to cost them and their families an arm and a leg. And I've heard from a lot of residents in the community that they have kids or family members that don't have anywhere to go that they can afford for mental health programs. So I think we need to invest in those.
Ally, the Minnesota Management Budget Office has predicted a $900 million surplus as of June 30th, 2016. You're sent to St. Paul to deal with it. What are your plans for the money?
I would like to offer tax relief to our business owners as well as investing it in our roads and bridges. That's how a lot of families get to work and how they pick their children up from school. And our roads and bridges are in terrible condition right now. We weren't able to get a transportation bill going. So instead of putting forth a gas tax, using some of that surplus would help.
Thank you very much. We're now going to ask each other a question. Ally, would like to ask Aaron a question?
Yes. If elected, Aaron, you would help the House Democrats gain control of the House and return Minnesota to a single-party control for Governor Dayton's last 2 years in office. Last time, that brought us Obamacare and $2 billion in new taxes. How will this time be different?
Well, the first thing I want to say is that it's not the Republican Party's job to put a check on Governor Dayton. It's the legislature's job to do that. That's why we created checks and balances. And so I look at the legislator as a body whole to run a check on our executive branch and our judicial branch like they're supposed to do for us. And so I don't really look at the party. I say that policy should be driven by people, not partisanship. And my legislative leaders know that. It bothers them, I'm sure, every day. But when we look at policies that drive our community forward, that are meaningful to this community, that's when we know that we're doing the real work together. So I'm not looking to Apple Valley, and we certainly shouldn't be looking for the rest of the state to vote for a specific party just to avoid this so-called one-party rule. That's not the constitutional function of the legislative body, and we shouldn't try to pretend like it is.
Aaron, do you have a question for Ally?
Yeah. So in 2014, the United States Supreme Court decided in favor of Hobby Lobby, they decided for Hobby Lobby. This was one of the biggest decisions handed down on small and large businesses across the country. Do you agree with the Supreme Court's ruling in favor of Hobby Lobby? And if not, would you have supported Cheer in Minnesota, which was our response to it?
So what was that they ruled in for Hobby Lobby?
It was closely held businesses could deny women reproductive contraception if it interfered with their religious views.
I think that I believe in religious freedoms, and that is a constitutional right, and all of our businesses, especially businesses like Hobby Lobby, if they are, privately owned, that they deserve to provide their employees with the certain aspects that they see fit. And if someone is working for them as an employee and is not happy, there are other companies that they can go to that are more corporate that would provide and not have such a religious aspect behind it. But asking a company with religious beliefs to change those religious beliefs is unconstitutional.